Hello, I am Cheryl Schertz with RE/MAX Suburban. I am also the Ambassador Chairperson of the Glen Ellyn Chamber of Commerce, and for over the last 20 years I have been a taste chair and also a beer tent chair. So one of the things we want to do today is a Bassett orientation. The goal of the village and the chamber is to have a fun and safe event, and our volunteers are an important part in ensuring that event goes smoothly. So first of all, thank you for volunteering. This orientation is intended to review the important highlights of the Bassett program. Bassett means Beverage, Alcohol, Sellers, and Servers Education Training, and it's intended only to promote responsible service by volunteers. This program does not qualify for state certification. It is for this event only. The goal is to provide insight and awareness to the serious issues associated with alcohol service. We will cover 4 main points: promote responsible alcohol service, basic identification checking and verification, identifying intoxicated patrons, and prevention and intervention techniques. We want to help prevent or reduce the occurrence of DUIs and public intoxication. Just a few stats regarding intoxicated drivers on the roadway. At any time, 1 out of 50 may be intoxicated. On weekend nights, that's closer to 1 out of 10. 40 to 60% come from public drinking establishments, and this includes events also. We will have intoxicated pedestrians, not just drivers. Over 1/3 of pedestrians killed in traffic accidents were intoxicated. Generally, the pedestrian had a BAC level of 0.08 or greater. There is a potential for intoxicated motorists and pedestrians to leave any special event. We want to reduce the likelihood of this. The chamber policy is to check the identification of anyone who appears to be under the age of 40. Our event is August 15th through the 17th. The date you're going to look for on the ID card is 2003. ID checkers and servers should be alert for anyone who attempts to use a false ID. Refuse to sell or serve alcohol to anyone who is unable to provide adequate identification. So what is adequate identification? A government document issued by a state, county, federal, or municipal agency. A driver's license, state ID card, passport, etc. Ask for a second form of ID if the first one is unclear. Get second opinion if you're not sure that it's valid. What we do not accept is a traffic ticket copy, a work ID, or a school ID. If you believe an ID is false or need assistance, speak with the beer tent manager. A police officer is always nearby, and that tent manager can alert the police officer if we have a problem. Have them hand you their ID. It will often be in a wallet, and they will often just hold it out to you. They need to take it out and hand it to you. Look at the photograph that's on the ID, compare it to who's standing in front of you. Check for physical descriptions. Hair color can change, glasses can change, so you want to look at the eyes, you want to look at the nose, the size of it, any birthmarks, anything that would, show that that is the person you're talking to. If the person is wearing sunglasses, you can ask them to remove the sunglasses. Check the expiration date. On the Illinois driver's license, you'll find that just under your birth date. And then check the back of the card. And when you're holding it, feel it. Does it feel like your driver's license? Does the back look correct for an ID that was presented? You will frequently have some out-of-state visitors, and those out-of-state visitors, we will accept their ID if it is a picture ID, and if it also have another form of ID with the same name on it. So that's probably our one thing with state IDs. An acronym is the word minor. So for M, make eye contact with your customer. I is for the ID. Always ask for it and check the ID if they look under 40. Notice the specific elements on the ID. O is for you can object to sell to somebody if you are unsure. And then R, report any fraudulent use of an ID. We are going to talk about consumption of alcohol. Blood alcohol concentration is influenced by body weight and type, the amount of alcohol consumed, the rate of consumption. The quicker the alcohol is consumed, the faster it is absorbed. Primary factors to monitor is number of drinks and the time of span compensation. Frontline servers can frequently see how often a person comes up to order a drink. So you're the ones that are really going to be monitoring that. Some signs of impairment: progression can affect judgment, memory, senses, reaction time, coordination, routine tasks, and bodily functions. What do your senses tell you about the person that's in front of you? Use your eyes to see whether the client has bloodshot or glassy eyes. Are they fumbling with their fingers? Lack of coordination, soiled clothing, bruises or bumps? And then use your ears. Do they have slurred speech, admission of drinking, inconsistent responses, abusive language, unusual statements? And then smell. Do they already have alcohol on their breath, clothing, or cover-up orders? You can engage them in conversation when you're serving or selling tickets, and that will tell you a lot. If someone is impaired and should not be served an alcohol beverage, we're talking about the acronym REFUSE. So R is for remove the alcohol beverage or do not serve them. E, explain we're here by law, we have a license to run the tent. F is for firm. Be firm, but also be polite. U is for unite. You have a team in the tent. Make sure you get a second opinion, either the person standing right beside of you or your beer tent manager. Suggest alternatives: a bottle of water, other food, non-alcoholic drinks. E, we have an incident log in the tent, so we need to enter any information regarding any incident that happens, and the beer tent manager can help you with that. We want to encourage you to work as a team. Our beer tent managers are there for a reason, and they're the ones you need to chat with if anything's going on. Everyone consuming an alcoholic beverage must have a wristband. This is a sample of one. You have 2 hands, you can only sell 2 drinks. So 2 hands, 2 drinks. If they are standing behind you and have somebody else that they're handing drinks off, you need to make sure that they have a tent or a wristband also. Our tent managers are JP LaCour and Mike Retaille, and they will be wearing green chamber polo shirts. If you cannot find either one, our taste chair is Terry Smith-Pfeiffer, and she will be on site the entire weekend. I want to address a little bit of housekeeping that you can, make sure you do. You can wear your business or organization apparel, shirts, hats, like I have a pen on today that shows my business. You will be standing quite a bit of the time, so make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes. And if we have weather conditions, unless there is lightning, the show does go on. So be prepared with any warm weather apparel, rain gear, whatever you need. No one under the age of 21 is allowed in the beverage tent. So let's say, for example, you're about ready to get off your shift and your family comes. They cannot come into the tent and wait for you. They do need to wait outside. You cannot drink any alcoholic beverage while you are volunteering in the tent. Once your shift is over, we gladly will give you a beverage of your choice, but you do need to take it outside of the tent to consume it. You are here because you volunteered to work in the beverage tent to either provide wristbands to our guests, sell tickets, pour or serve beverages. We will all be in the same tent at the same time, but please allow your tent manager to assign what position you will be because they know where the greatest need is within the tent. Please make sure you arrive 15 minutes before your shift starts to allow for parking and just time to walk to the tent and time for just to find out where you're going to be working within that tent. There are 4 different tent positions that you will be either volunteering for. So the first is the ID checker and the wristbander. Everyone must have a wristband to consume alcohol. Anyone who looks under 40, we're checking their ID. You will need to put the wristband on the guest. So the easiest way to do it is just wrap it around your fingers and have at least 2 fingers between the person and the band. It makes it tight enough that they can't get it off, but it's also not going to affect any skin or anything for them. And you think, okay, they're not going to take it off. If it's too loose, they can take it off and give it to another person. We don't want that to happen. The ticket seller will be at the same station as the ID and wristband, and we're selling water and pop for $2 and alcohol beverages for $8. We are giving them tickets, so when they go down to order their beer or wine or non-alcoholic beverage, the servers are only going to be working with tickets. They're not going to be working with money. If you're selling tickets and they ask for a large quantity, if it's on Thursday night, those tickets are good for the entire weekend. But if you're selling that ticket Saturday evening at 7, 8 o'clock, just caution them, because we do not refund money on tickets. And you want to make sure that everyone that is in their party does have a wristband. So you need to tell them that if they're buying a large quantity of tickets. If a person comes up and says, well, you know, I want to give a beer to somebody out there, you just have to ask, does that person have a wristband? And they do have to come up to the tent to get that wristband. You cannot hand off a wristband to give to somebody and let them put it on someone else. Our beverage pours and wine. Wine is going to be in a similar glass of this, and we say that we're pouring it one finger down. So wherever the wine comes up, that will be a full glass of wine. We're also using aluminum glasses for our tap beer, and then canned beverage. So any canned beverage, you have to open the can. You cannot give it to them in a seal. If it's not open, they can easily put it in their purse, walk off the taste grounds, so you need to be very careful about that. We just want to thank you for volunteering. We appreciate all your time and your efforts, and we know this is going to be a successful taste because of that. And then we need you to sign the form and bring that with you to the taste when you volunteer.